All right, Wholeness and Balance Vibrations YouTube family. So my name's Cece. This is the Venusian Traveler. Thank you for tapping into this video. And I've got a brand new channel. So this is actually, besides my introduction, the first video I'll be posting to my YouTube channel. And I am an over-the-road trucker. I thought that what better first video to put out than a safety video. And this is not just about safety while driving. Hopefully anyone that's in the truck already is well aware of all the safety concerns that are involved with driving an 18-wheeler. This video is going to be more geared towards personal safety out here on the road, just kind of some of the things that I have learned, that I have become aware of while being out here. And I would like to say first and foremost to anyone who has ever been the victim of any type of personal assault or crime, that I am very sorry that happened to you. I can speak on this issue from my own personal experiences, and without going too deep into my story, which there's plenty of time for that. Trust me, it's a humdinger. But I will say this, that, I am 51 years old. In the course of my life, my jaw has been broken twice, wired shut. I have spent time in a DVIS shelter, and many other things. Like I said, this is not about my personal story. There's, like I said, plenty of time for that, and I'll reveal more about myself as the channel progresses forward. But I also would like to say that I don't like to use the word victim. I don't believe in victim consciousness. I don't believe in allowing myself and the choices, actions, and decisions that I make in my life to be motivated by fear. So that is definitely not what this video is about either. I believe to a very great extent in the law of attraction, and that we attract the energy that we give out. So I don't like to move in a fear-based consciousness. So while I give these, little safety hacks and whatnot, this is not, like I said, to promote that, this is a fearful situation out here on the road. Just like, in everyday life, you should always be cautious of your surroundings. You should always know your surroundings. You should always be aware. That just kind of goes without saying, but I will willingly admit that there probably is a higher level of caution that should be exercised when out here over the road than you would going to your local Walmart in your hometown. Unfortunately, human trafficking and many other types of things, horrible things that happen to people, they take place in the world, but I can and will admit that out here on the road, there is a higher level of caution that should be exercised. Just because you have the type of job where you're moving from place to place, you're in different areas, you never quite know who's exactly next to you or what their intentions are. And like I said, this is not to say I don't move through life with fear. Like I said, and I can speak on that from my own experiences. I have experienced several horrendous things. Like I said, so I'm not going to keep drilling on that. I will say this. I had a friend reach out to me not long ago. She knows that I'm an over-the-road trucker, and actually a friend of hers had turned up missing, or had been missing for about 2 weeks. And it turned out that his family found his truck abandoned at a truck stop. And, you know, like I said, it's unfortunate that these things happen to people. But I do believe that there are certain things that we can do to, you know, just give ourselves a better sense of security. A lot of times fear is in the mind, but that's not to say that real things out here don't happen. But I do believe that sometimes, you know, we can allow fear to cause us to be to not live our greatest life. Let's just say that, because fear has many tentacles to it. It can manifest as anger. It manifests as depression. You know, when we move through life and we make our choices, decisions, and the actions that we take or do not take based on fear, and with fear being the motivating factor of that, I really feel like we lose out on a lot of the joys in life, and some of the opportunities that life can present to us. So with that being said, the part of the other reason why this video came up too is one of the female drivers in my company fleet actually just recently posted a message in our company group chat, and she stated that she was at a truck stop in her sleeper berth, laying in the bunk, doors locked, and it's kind of common knowledge, you know, amongst truckers that we have a Freightliner fleet, and it's kind of common knowledge that Freightliner keys can be used in other Freightliners. I don't know the specifics behind that. I don't know if it has to do with it, you know, having to be the same year, make, and model. I don't know, but I have heard that several times throughout my trucking career. I myself, I have an old Freightliner key on an old keychain from a truck I drove 2 years ago. That, you know, I've never used it or tried it. I actually should probably try that in my own Freightliner now and just debunk that. That would be a good thing to do. But she stated she was in her sleeper berth, laying in the bunk, doors locked, and a guy, I truly believe this was an innocent thing that happened. I don't think he was trying to do anything to her, but he came out of the truck. As you guys know, if you are truck drivers, if you're not, let you know that you can go in the truck stop and come out and not, you know, there's so many trucks out there, and if you got a white truck, you might get lost. There's so many white trucks, or you kind of got to look for the things on your dashboard or the logo on your door. I mean, I've done it before myself too. I've actually walked up to the wrong truck before and then kind of looked like, oh wait, that's not my truck. But I do believe that this was an innocent situation like that. The guy actually was not just paying attention, put the key in the door, unlocked the door, and opened the door while she was in the sleeper berth. Now, she's a solo driver, so no team driver or co-driver or anybody should have been coming back to the truck. And it freaked her out. And, you know, I get that. It would probably have freaked me out too. But like I said, nothing came of it. I think she said as soon as he opened the door, he closed the door. I think he probably, as soon as he opened the door, saw that that was not his truck, closed the door immediately and just walked off. But that's kind of where the idea for this video came about. And like I said, I figured one of the best ways to start the channel off would be with some safety tips. These are not just for the ladies. Now we'll excuse me, I will say this. I was taught this back when I was in trucking school. They took all of the women that were in my truck driving, my CDL class, one afternoon to a separate class by ourselves, and just gave us, you know, safety tips specifically for women on the road. But I believe these safety tips shouldn't just be specifically for women. I believe that's a whole a gender thing that I try to get away from. You know, people are people. Anyone can be, unfortunately, the target of any type of crime or assault. And I don't like to discriminate like that. So these safety tips are what I learned in a women's safety class in trucking school, but it's anyone can apply these, of course, you know. So one of the first things, and I will say this, you know, I do not, this first tip I'm going to show you, I do not do this on a daily basis. I've probably done this, I can count on 2 hands in my entire trucking career. And that was because I was in a particularly sketchy area. And that happens 9 times out of 10. I like to roll into the truck stop. I get there early so I can get a good parking spot. You know, but it happens. Sometimes you have to sleep at a shipper or a receiver that's out in the middle of nowhere. I have slept at rest areas out in the middle of the desert. I have had to sleep on one of the on or off ramps on an interstate, on a side road. You know, I'm actually in a rest area tonight for the night. So that's also why I decided to do the video today too. I don't, you know, particularly feel unsafe or anything like that. When I first started trucking, I really was cautious. When I would pull into rest areas, I would never get out of the truck. As soon as I would pull in, I would close my curtains. And there's some other things that go along with that too, because I know some of the ladies or the guys are thinking, well, you know, how to use the restroom and whatnot. You know, there are some other videos I'm going to make on absolute essentials you should have on your truck. I have pulled into rest areas before where the bathroom facilities are out of order, the building is closed, you're at some place where that's closed, they have porta potties outside. Trust me, men and ladies, you do not want to use porta potties at a truck place. I'm sorry, they're just like, porta potties are pretty bad anyway, but I have discovered that those are kind of the worst of the worst of the worst. So I always have the ability for emergency purposes to use the restroom if I need to on the truck. And there's a special deal. I'm going to make a different video for this, but there's a special deal for women. It's a female part. You can order it on Amazon, and I'm not affiliated with any sales on Amazon or anything like that. I keep 3 of them on the truck just because they come in a pack of 3. They got a little bag that it comes in, and it makes it really easy for females to use the restroom. And then I also keep a camping toilet on my truck. That's a fold down portable one. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. I'll get into that stuff later. This one's on safety. All right. So when I first started trucking, I used to not even get out of my truck just so that it would not be known that I was a solo, single female in the truck by myself. I would park my truck, log off duty, and immediately close my curtains. The next thing I would do, and you know, I've got my cushion here on my seat belt, but hopefully that doesn't get in the way as I try to show you guys this. What you need to do is pull your seat belt all the way out so it doesn't catch on you. You hold that side, grab your buckle, and you stick your buckle through the handle of your door. Once you get that through, grab both sides. And then you just snap your seat belt as if you were sitting in the seat. You just snap your seat belt here. What that does, even when your doors are locked, no one from the outside can open this door. Even if they got so bold as to bust the window. I mean, they were really determined to get in your truck. And I did it on both sides. Like I said, this is not something I do on a daily basis. When I first started trucking, if I was in a sketchy area, I would do this. you can lay in your truck and you will feel completely secure. Nobody's going to get in your truck that way. I've also heard that, and I've never done this because straps that I have on my truck go into the notches inside the trailer. But you can buy a regular ratchet strap that's long enough to reach from door to door and do the same, basically the same principle. Go through this door handle, go through that door handle, do your strap and ratchet it down. One of the other things, when I first started trucking, and actually kind of how this channel was birthed, was that I would make Facebook content each and every night when I shut down. I would make a short video, and I made it entertaining, but the purposes that I started doing it for was to let friends and family know my kind of last known location, my whereabouts. Not, specifically, I wouldn't be like, I'm at truck stop such and such on such and such a street, and none of that. I would kind of state the road that I'd been traveling on. I'd say, I'm on I-65 traveling southbound, near whatever town or whatever. But then I would also, include photos of my day, talk about my day, what I was doing for dinner. I'd make it a little bit, entertaining, and just kind of post my travels. If I was stopping somewhere, I'd say, hey, I'm at this location. I would do check-ins on Facebook. And it was a way for me to kind of show, just what it was like being out here trucking. But also at the same time, it was great for my family just to be, because we work sometimes 14-hour days. We can drive 11 hours, but sometimes that turns into a 14-hour day. There are some days where I have to do a strict 10-hour reset and be back at it again. We work 70 hours a week. There's not time, at least for me in my life, for me to call, everything. I have adult children, my mom, you just don't have time to call everyone constantly and update them, where you're at, what you're doing. And I'm a pretty independent person, I guess you would say. That's why trucking is really well suited for me. I live alone. I'm not married. My children are adults. No dogs, cats, or birds or anything like that. So, I'm not really in the habit of letting people know where I'm at, what I'm doing every day. It's just not part of my normal daily psychology. I go when I want to, and I come when I want to. No pun intended. So anyways, I did realize once I got out here on the road that probably was not the safest thing to do, to go without contact with family, for 2 to 3 weeks. And then, if something were to happen to me, where would they even begin to look? I could travel up to, 600-700 miles each day, a week and a half, 2 weeks have gone by, and then they're kind of like, yeah, she didn't call, but, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, and, 2 weeks have gone by, but something has actually happened. I don't know, for those of you that are watching that are truckers, I did hear a story. It was a secondhand story, but I did hear a story. I was getting my truck worked on at a truck stop in Neosho, Missouri, where the trucker was found dead in his truck. Unfortunately, he had passed away. He did have some medical conditions, but his company had kept trying to reach out to him, was not able to get a hold of him. Finally, when his load became late, and they saw that there had been no movement on the truck, they contacted the employees at the truck stop. They got no response when they knocked on the truck. And then finally, authorities got there. They broke into the truck, and unfortunately, the driver had passed away. And I believe 2 to 3 days had gone by. That's a pretty quick response. So, if you're like me in my life, I'm used to, I may not speak to my mom, but once every 2 weeks, maybe once a week. It's a long time and a lot of distance and a lot of things that could potentially happen or go wrong. So I just thought that by posting the videos on Facebook, that prevented me from having to make phone calls each and every day. Like I said, I'm not a fearful person, but, I'm a mother also, and I know we worry, our mothers worry, especially, when you're out here and you're kind of in a male-dominated industry and you're doing truck driving. It is a hazardous job. There are truck wrecks each and every day all across the United States, and I always tell people there's no really such thing as a fender bender in an 18-wheeler. We do have dangerous jobs. And, in order for my mother not to worry, I started posting the videos, and she can tap into my Facebook page at any point in time, know where I am, where I'm going, all those good things. So, now, again, let me show you guys this too. On my dash, it's just always wise. I mean, even before I started trucking, I always carry pepper spray. This is the type that has the handle with the Velcro, so you can have this strapped on your hand, inside your hand, if you need to go inside anywhere. I keep one in the front of the truck. I keep one in the back of the truck. I also keep one on my keychain. Not sure where I also keep a taser on the truck. I don't think we're supposed to have these, but hey. I've also been told, that we can have a baseball bat on the truck, but legally you also have to have the ball on the truck too. I don't know how true that is, but there are restrictions as far as what type of weapons you can keep on your truck. But these are just personal safety things that I like to keep near me. You're definitely not supposed to have firearms or, I have kitchen knives, but, no type of, machetes or, those types of things are not allowed on commercial vehicles. So, but once again, you guys, it's just about, being aware of your surroundings, exercising a healthy level of caution, without at the same time allowing fear to dictate what you do and what you don't do. Like I said, I know many people have heard the saying that, worrying is a form of praying for what you don't want to happen. So I move through life, kind of with that outlook on life. There's really, people say that saying, there's really nothing to fear but fear itself. I believe that to a certain extent, but at the same time, like I said, I have experienced some pretty serious situations that, through the grace of God and, angels on my shoulders, that I'm here to talk about it today. But that's also why I'm sharing this information. Hopefully this helps some people out. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, thanks for watching the channel. Oh, I'm supposed to say subscribe and like. I will attempt, I'm not going to make any promises, guys. I will attempt to try to put out at least one video a week. I say that now, but like I said, I'm a solo driver. I drive for a very small company. We're trying to get legs underneath us and get off the ground. And I run pretty hard out here. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and tap out. This video's dragged out a little bit longer than I really wished that it would have, but I'll get better, guys, I promise. All right, thanks for watching. And remember, no matter where you're at, what you're doing, or who you're doing it with, try to move through your day with grace, compassion, and love for yourself and for others. Thanks for watching.